Hello and welcome back to my channel. I know it has been a very long time. I actually haven't posted since the 1st of January and it is now the 29th of September. So it has been a good 9 months, even maybe a little bit over that. I'm not very good at maths, but you know. Anyway, I am back. I'm back and I'm better. Ooh, I want you better as ever. Go on, Bryson Tiller. Anyway, I am back and I hope with this video I can update you with what I've been doing, what I'm currently doing, and where I'm at in my life, so that then I can upload more videos more often and you don't have to wait 9 months to hear from me. But I am back and it is good to be back. A lot has happened, like a lot. One of the things that has happened in my life is finishing university. I have been at university for the last 4 years and it hasn't been easy. It's not always been the best, and I do definitely want to make a university experience video sometime in the future. I just felt like it wasn't appropriate to make one whilst I was still attending the university. I wouldn't be slating it, but I wanted to be able to feel like I could tell my whole truth about my experience, because I felt like maybe whilst I was there, if I did so, it could cause me a few issues. But I have finished. That means I have actually graduated. So I'm just going to quickly talk about a little bit about my final year. So I didn't start my final year until December. I was 3 months late, but that was due to registration issues and not actually anything on my behalf. So they basically just did not register me. I couldn't attend lectures, I couldn't submit work, I wasn't a student. So by the time I did become a student, I had 3 months of work to catch up on, which was also half my assessments, which was 6. So I had to do 6 assessments throughout the Christmas holidays, whilst everyone else was having their much deserved break. I had to do work. So I did the majority of it, but obviously there was still a few things hanging over me, so I took them into my second semester. So my university only has first semester from September to December and second December. So my university has 2 semesters. The first one, September to December, and then the second one is like February to May. Some courses vary, but that was my kind of timetable. So I went into second semester with work from the first semester, which already put me behind other people. But certain things happened during my second semester which caused me to get further behind, which I will come on to. So I ended up having a meeting with my head of department and it was decided that I would submit my work on August 11th. So I thought, you know what, I can do this. That gave me like 3 months to do 9 pieces of work. I was like, yes, I've got this, I can do it. More things happened which caused me to basically withdraw. I just did not want to do work. I couldn't concentrate. I was very emotional. My mental health was awful and I just felt like, what's the point of doing work that I wasn't going to end up being happy with? So I just decided not to do the work at all. But then I kind of got over what I was upset about, down about. I kind of learned how to deal with those feelings and I thought, you know what, let me give this a shot. So on June 14th, I received an email from one of my lecturers basically explaining that it was no longer August 11th that I had as a deadline. It was going to be July 11th. By this time, it was June 14th, so that gave me under a month to complete 9 pieces of work, which I thought was just out of question. I didn't think I could do it. but with the support from my dad and obviously my mum as well, I was able to complete all 9 pieces of work and I submitted it on the deadline. I'm still very, very proud of my accomplishment. The things I went through throughout university, the fact that even able to finish at all was in itself good enough for me. I had in my head what I wanted as my final grade, and anything lower than that I would personally have felt disappointed, but for other people I think it's still an amazing achievement. I just knew what I wanted from the moment I started university. I was supposed to receive my results on July 30th, but I actually ended up getting them around August 11th. So when they came back, I actually found out that I had received a first in every single assessment, the lowest being 70%, which was group work. And those who went to university with me and worked with me would know I wasn't a big fan of group work. I much prefer doing the work by myself, but it is obviously still a good result, so I'm really happy with that. I ended up actually finishing my final year with 78.2% average. I did get a first in my second year also, so together that meant that I was graduating with a first. So I graduated with a BA honours in film, television and radio with drama, and also with the Christchurch Extra Award, which meant that I had done 3 workshops and over 150 hours of volunteering. So I did more like 300 and something, and I did about 5 workshops. This was in like creative writing and like skills in the workplace. So I graduated on Tuesday the 11th of September, and it was a day that was just unreal for me. It was very surreal. I had my grandparents there, which meant everything to me. I always wanted them to have been there because from a very young age they were always my inspiration. I looked up to them more than probably anyone. They were my role models, and I just really wanted them to see the moment that I graduated, because I felt like then I'd have finally been able to make them truly, truly proud. And so to share that day with them meant everything to me. My best friend also came along, my brother and his fiance, and obviously my parents were there, and we ended up going for a really nice meal afterwards, and it was just a very good day. So that is university done with forever. I can't believe it because I was there for 4 years, so now it kind of feels weird like seeing people that I know at university now, like going out, clubbing and doing all the things that I used to do. But I can actually say that I don't miss it. I wouldn't want to go back, but it was definitely emotional to kind of close that chapter of my life. But as one door closes, another door opens, and as one chapter stops, another begins. After finishing university, I pretty quickly, within 2 weeks, got myself a job, and it is a full-time job. I work from Monday to Fridays and I do 2 hours overtime each day, and I also work a Saturday. So technically my contract is for 40 hours a week, but I work sometimes up to 60 hours, sometimes 50, so it kind of varies. So I have put all my energy and effort into working, and you will find out why that I have a motivation to earn money in a second. So I work in a credit management company near where I live, and I really enjoy it. Everyone there is really nice, they're really supportive, and I earn decent money, which is always a plus. I do work quite long hours and I do get tired, but it's going to be worth it eventually because I am pregnant. So on Tuesday the 8th of May, I found out that I was having a baby. I found out that I was pregnant. I did a pregnancy test. The next day I went to the doctors and it was confirmed, and it was very overwhelming. I was very, very shocked. I don't think anyone was as shocked as I was, because I had a past problem with food and an eating problem. I don't really want to call it an eating disorder because it was no way as bad as it could have been, to the point where I could have obviously lost my life, but it was quite bad. It was quite an extreme weight loss. So because of that, I kind of always told myself that I probably wouldn't be able to have children. It was kind of just in my head. It often made me quite upset. I did get upset a lot about it because I kind of convinced myself, because I used to be in a long-term relationship and I felt like if I was supposed to have had a baby, I would have been pregnant with that person at that time. But obviously God has a plan for everyone, and that just wasn't in our plan together, and clearly God has decided that it is my plan now to have a baby. So I am currently 24 weeks pregnant today. So it means that I'm in my second trimester, but I am actually nearing the end of my second trimester. I will be going into my third. I think it's at 26 weeks. So I actually have like 2 weeks left of my second trimester. So far, I have absolutely loved being pregnant. I had a tough start in my first trimester, but my second trimester has been just amazing. I've loved every second of it. Obviously, I have the baby kicks now, and I held a gender reveal party last weekend, so I do actually know the gender of the sex, and you'll also be finding out because I did film it, but I'm going to put it after this video, because if I just uploaded a random video of my gender reveal, people might be like, what? But obviously those who follow me on social media would already know, but those who don't, I am pregnant. So that was going on all the time that I was still at university and trying to complete my work. I obviously found out on the 8th of May, and I was still doing work up until July 11th. So I was dealing with my first trimester, and in my first trimester I was throwing up. I didn't have morning sickness, it was kind of like random day sickness, which is definitely something that I learned through pregnancy. I just kind of assumed that those who are pregnant and had morning sickness, they'd be throwing up in the morning, but oh no. Sometimes I would be literally throwing up just before bed. I do think it didn't help me taking Pregnacare. They made me feel very, very, very ill, and even the thought of them now kind of make me a little bit sick. My boobs swelled so much, I had to like completely get a new bra really early on. I actually bought a maternity bra, which is quite funny to a lot of people that I bought a maternity bra so early on, because I wasn't even 12 weeks at that point. But also in my first trimester, I broke up with the father of the baby. He basically decided that he didn't want to be a part of the child's life, and we obviously broke up. I would say we definitely have different perspectives on what happened and how both of us should have dealt with certain things. We've both said things that weren't nice, but I feel like at the time they were justified, because I felt like there was a lot of anger. But for me now, there's just, I don't have the energy to hold a grudge or hold resentment towards someone. I feel like everyone in life deserves to have their own choices, make their own choices and be happy, and that was his. And although I might not personally agree with it and personally agree with how things planned out, I respect the decision that he made, because everyone is entitled to do what they want and also be happy. So that is all I'm really going to say on him. especially for now. Maybe like one day I'll go into it, but I just don't feel like it's necessary at the moment, and I don't think it'll do any good by talking about it and putting my energy into it. At the end of the day, I assume he's very happy with his life and we don't have any contact at all, just like I am completely and utterly happy with my life. I couldn't wish for a better one. I feel like for a long time I felt like I didn't really have a purpose. I didn't know my purpose, but being pregnant has definitely given me one, and everything I do now I keep my baby in mind. So my job, working extra hours, is all to be able to provide everything for my child, because I feel like I want to be able to give them everything myself. I don't want to depend on another person, because I feel like sometimes people can use that against you. They can say, well, I've done this, I've done that, and feel entitled to be in your life, and also I don't want them to feel entitled to being in my child's life. So I really want to be able to provide everything by myself for my child, and that's why I'm working so hard and I am putting in extra time and energy, because I want them to be able to have a childhood like I had, and my parents worked to be able to give me everything I wanted, and that's what I want for my child. Obviously, I want them to be able to go on holidays, I want them to be able to have what they want. I don't want them to be spoiled, and I want them to not feel like they can just have everything, because I feel like it's a good thing for a child to learn that you can't always have everything in life, and sometimes you do have to work to deserve things. So I don't know, I feel like with parenting, everyone has like a different opinion on what you should do, what you shouldn't do, from natural birth to cesarean to breastfeeding to bottle feeding. Everyone's going to have a different opinion, and some people critique others for their parenting choices, but I personally feel like each person should do what's best for themselves and for their baby. So I would never comment on someone else's parenting, just like I'd hope someone wouldn't comment on mine. I know that I will get comments, but honestly, my child's not theirs, so they won't know what's best for my child, and I, as the mother, will decide that.